Dumelang, Sanbonan, hello. Today's word is rhetorical question. A rhetorical question is a statement which is posed as a question. In other words, something it's stated as a position, as a fact, or as truth, or as something imperative, yet it is disguised as a question. This is different from a leading question. That is the word for another day. But let me give you examples of rhetorical questions, which are usually posed by journalists. You know, when journalists interview people, they do not come with an open mind. They come with preconceived ideas, with certain ideological positions, but they couch that, they camouflage these positions by posing rhetorical questions. And if you listen carefully, these rhetorical questions are actually statements. Let me give you an example. I will paraphrase one of the journalists who came from Nigeria. It's a woman who, during June and July 2026, was all over the place trying to interview top people in South Africa, including the leader of March and March and the former Minister of International Relations. I've listened to the questions that she asked. The last one that I remember was when she was asking one of the ministers. She was making a statement, but it was something like, don't you think that the South African government must apologize to the government of Nigeria for xenophobia? Do you hear that question? It's actually a statement. If it were a question, it would be open-minded. Something like, what does the South African government think regarding the problems of illegal migration with regard to diplomatic relations with Nigeria? Then the government would outline its plan or its position regarding the problems that were ensuing in South Africa. But that is a statement. There are other questions, rhetorical questions like, don't you think that you are wrong in marching against illegal immigrants? Is that a question or a statement? Don't you think that the South African government is correct in spending 600 million rands to protect or to prevent marches? Don't you think that South Africans are xenophobic? Isn't it evidence from the way South Africans are behaving that they are Afrophobic? Isn't it correct for South Africans to allow the government to correct the situation about undocumented immigrants and naturalize them? Don't you think it is wrong for South Africans to take the law into their own hands and discredit their government? Now, all these questions are clearly positions that the people who are asking them, the interlocutors, people who are asking questions, are posing as questions, yet these are statements. They're not open-minded, they're not open-ended. That is what a rhetorical question is. A statement in disguise, a crook of a statement. It pretends to be innocent, yet its dart is poisonous. It's leading towards a certain direction, so that the person who's answering is put on the defensive. rhetorical question. Thank you.